This is Jeff Suter. This is First Speech. This is my persuasive speech. Here is my audience.
Pan again, just to make sure.
Okay. Alright, so today I will be talking about voting. Voting being mandatory. Now, this is an issue that touches on a couple of important points in our politics and has been brought up recently by President Obama in 2015 in March. There are 29 countries that have laws on the books as far as making voting mandatory. 29 countries and principalities. Now, there are only 14 of them that actively enforce it. There are different ways that countries enforce these laws, such as fines, written explanations as to why the people do not vote, all the way up to people that do not vote may have jail time. They may not be able to have jobs in civil service. Now, while especially the jail time would be a little bit outside what is necessary, it is understandable for the goal of this type of action to have, some sort of repercussion. This law would benefit us by providing instead of the small turnout that we get, such as in 2014, we had 36.2% voter turnout for the midterm elections, which is absolutely terrible, and the lowest since 1942. In 2004, in regular presidential elections, we still only get 50 to 60%, which either of those two instances is a very poor gauge on the political and general climate of the country, of how we feel about the current state, such as if we voted along the lines for how we feel about how Congress is doing, which has a terrible approval record. Actually having the 98% or whatever it is voter turnout to make that change would be something that would be instrumental in getting the country on the track that we, the people, want it to be on. Now, country like Australia, which is one of the countries with mandatory voting laws, they not only have provisional ballots beforehand that you can either go in person and vote, or you can also just mail it in. They also have something where if you're in another part of the country outside of your home area, they will have, it's a designated polling place for people that have to travel for business or leisure or whatever. Now, another way to go about this is Peru, for instance, has a national holiday on the day that they have the election. The biggest argument against having, or one of the biggest arguments against having a designated day for and a designated mandatory voting day is that it infringes upon your democratic right of you can choose not to vote. However, especially if everyone is included, that democratic right not only is the democratic right isn't really being impinged, especially when you have something like a national day off, a national holiday. It's not infringing on your daily activities when you're giving a government mandated day that you are not, your work isn't hindered, any sort of event that you have is not being, cut short. Along with, like I said, Australia's, very, ease of method, or ease of availability as far as voting in the country. Now, that'll wrap up my summary for the, the need for enforced voting. Thank you.